What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. This is episode 2 of our Road to Platinum series for Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel Season 2. And, again, these videos are a little scuffed just because my audio did not record, so we are watching play-by-plays, and I'll be going over my video commentary and stuff like that to walk you through what I was thinking. And, I'm just posting every duel I've had in ranked going up to Platinum, so... thank you so much for the support this channel's seen. We passed 50 subscribers, which is pretty big. My YouTube channel was stagnant for so long, and just having over 50 subs is pretty remarkable, and we're having a lot of views. So I just want to say thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. So it does mean a lot to me. Keep supporting me if you would like to. And with that, if you do like the video, drop a like, comment, and subscribe. I love talking to you guys in the comments and everything like that. You don't have to, but it does make me feel all warm and fuzzy inside when you do, so thank you so much. And with that, let's just get into the duel. So let me switch my screen over here. We are playing Dark Magician one more time. Not one more time, but we are playing Dark Magician. So I do have two duels here, and going over, we're pretty confident. So our last episode, we 2-0'd. We were pretty good. So opening hand here. It's not a bad hand. It's a good hand, so we're thinking here. So opening torrential isn't bad, but we also don't have a normal summon monster, so really there's nothing we can really do here except either try and top deck something here, but it's really nothing's going to really do anything for us, so I think we will set 2 and pass. We'll set the Soul Servant. So the reason we set Soul Servant here is so... I'm actually going to pause it here. So the reason we set Soul Servant here is so we can watch our opponent play the game, and then in their end phase we can activate Soul Servant, and then we can top deck whatever we need. So that's why setting Soul Servant, activating in the opponent end phase, I like it. And it's also pretty anime because you can kind of rig your deck to see what your top deck will be. And so it's kind of nice. It's just kind of fun. It's kind of an anime moment. So going into our first duel. So like I said, this isn't the greatest hand. So like there's really nothing we could have done differently with that hand. And so we're just waiting for info on our team. So they do Harpy's Feather Duster. I hate Harpy's Feather Duster. There's multiple duels where like I'll have to set cards because I don't really have a hand, and then I'll just get Lightning Stormed or Harpy's Feather Dustered, and it's heartbreaking. But that does bring me into something that people do need to like work on, and something I need to work on as well. That's why we're doing this series, is so we can better ourselves as a player and things like that. And this is also a learning experience for you all as well. So card economy. Granted, with this hand, there's nothing I could have done differently than set 2 pass. But card economy is something that we really need to start focusing on, and we don't want to just dump our whole hand, because they could have a Regeki, or they could have a Harpy's Feather Duster and stuff like that. So we are chaining the Soul Servant here just to get something. So we do top deck the Eternal Soul. So waiting for the info. We don't really know what the opponent's playing just yet, and so we're just waiting for the info. Card doesn't load, but we are able to look into the graveyard, and we see it is Tri-Brigades. So they are running some kind of Tri-Brigade engine. I don't exactly... I'm pretty new to Tri-Brigades. I took a break when that deck was popular, and I'm trying to learn what they do in Master Duel, so it's a learning experience for all of us. Okay, watching our opponent go through plays here with a dead hand like this, it's kind of unfortunate, but sometimes we've seen what the deck can do when it's consistent, but sometimes you're not always going to draw like a super godly hand. And so I'm all about trying to learn what these cards do. So like I said, I've not really played against Tri-Brigade, so I don't know what they do. But I do remember this duel. Our opponent does do something pretty crazy. So they teching in Gladiator's Proving Ground. You've heard me correct. This is a Tri-Brigade Gladiator Beast deck. That's ingenuity. I love it. I'm here for it. If you're going to make Glads go, put Tri-Brigades in there. Why wouldn't you? It's so good. Gladiator Beasts are a super slept on card, especially when cards like Kaiser Coliseum and Master Duel. Gladiator Beasts do really well. Okay, so watching Tri-Brigade play go off, they are able to link summon into a, I think it's a Beast Warrior Link Monster, and he goes into the Gladiator Beasts. So, as he's playing this hand, I have an open field, so I'm like, oh no, he's about to pop off hard. So the Gladiator Beast player kind of cycles us here. He kind of gives us a what for. So, I mean, there's really nothing we can do out of this situation unless we top deck something super crazy. And so his main phase 2, I believe he just tries to pop off. So the thing with Gladiator Beast monsters is whenever they do attack at the end phase, they can tag out into other Gladiator Beast monsters. And it's a really cool effect. They came out in the GX era, so I mean, fusions were the thing. And so with their fusion effects, they can contact fusion just like Neospatians. You don't need polymerization to bring out these fusion monsters. And so they do banish one of our cards. That's fine. Really, there's nothing we really could have done. It's a Soul Servant or a Torrential Tribute, and they do banish the Soul Servant. Okay, so we see them go into the Gladiator Beast Augustus, and then the Ator, I believe, is that card's name. And so then they will go into Gladiator Beast Ator's effect will activate, sitting Augustus, and then they go super crazy and popping off and creating a first turn board that is very hard to deal with. And like I said, I'm not salty about this loss at all. Seeing a deck like this, granted it is lower ranks, but seeing a deck like this pop off is something really, really cool about this game. And it's another thing I want to talk about. A lot of games you'll like play versus someone, and it's in ranked and stuff like that, and then you'll just see like one play will get stopped, and then they'll just surrender. And I mean, granted, I mean, you don't have to play those bad hands, but sometimes there's a lot of things you can do to like get out of a bad situation like that. I feel like a lot of Master Duel players are just giving up, and that's really not about it. Like, there's been some decks, like some duels where I've played where I have 0 cards in my deck and like 100 life points, and we still come back. And it's stuff like that. So I mean, don't give up. Granted, if you don't have anything and like there's like 6 monsters on the board and they have 5,000 attack, all of them, you could probably surrender there, but only when it's guaranteed. If one play gets stopped, don't surrender. Play through. That's how you're going to become a better player in general, and that's with every game, really. So during my whole rant, our opponent here has completely popped off. He has super mega full combo, and he's still going. Goes into the Quest A, and then right here is just the nail on the head. Nail in the coffin here. He's able to activate Gladiator Beast comeback one more time by cycling it, which is incredible. What a good card. And we are just ending on this board. So right now we're thinking, wow, we really need to draw Amazing. But he also does have an Omni Negate on the board with their Water Fusion monster. And then he tops it off with the Samorg Bird of Sovereignty, which allows him to tutor out the Barrier Statue of Winds. And Barrier Statue of Wind means we can't summon monsters except we can't special summon monsters except wind monsters. So right now we're kind of, this is one of those games where you can give up, considering there's no way to play out of this. We do have the Magician's Navigation, but like I said, they also just have a huge board and an Omni Negate. We don't have any way to play through this. And so we're talking it over. I'm explaining how things like that can happen, so all we can do is really just end and let him play out this turn. And that will be our first loss in Road to Platinum. Granted, it's an early loss and it doesn't really count against us, but that is our first loss. And I'm glad we could experience, because like I said, losses are learning experiences just as much as winning. So there's really no reason to pick up and like throw in the towel when you can learn something from it. And of course, a bad hand just happened to be a bad hand, and we weren't able to play through this board. So we let him go into battle phase and play it out. There's no use in just surrendering, because I want to give him the satisfaction of he's able to play a crazy deck like Tri-Brigade Gladiator Beasts. I'm gonna let him play it out. Okay. So that is that. That does put us at silver 2, I still believe. I'm not too sure. But let's get into our second duel here. We do get to choose who goes first or second, and we choose to go first. I like going first, even if we are playing kind of a deck that can do both. I prefer going first just to set up presence and to set up our interruptions on the opponent's turn. Now this hand is super, super different than our last hand. I'm going to be straight up honest with you. So with this, we can actually summon the Magician's Rod to grab our Dark Magical Circle. Because what does the Dark Magician play? It needs Dark Magical Circle and it needs Eternal Soul. We already had the Soul, we already had a Dark Magician, so we just need the Circle. So that's kind of what I'm explaining with my mouse there. So we'll activate Dark Magical Circle to thin the deck before we kind of get rid of the Magician's Soul here. And I believe we grab Soul Servant here. We could activate Soul Servant, but also it doesn't really matter. Considering we already have the 3 cards that we need to really like start popping off, we can kind of just set and pass if we needed to, since considering we don't have the information. But we are going to set the Soul Servant only because we could top deck what we needed. And we're not going to activate Magician's Soul here just because we already have the Dark Magician in hand, so we don't really need to get one in the graveyard. And we could go into Link Karibo here. I remember thinking we could go into Link Karibo if we needed it, but I decided not to. Just because we can kind of save the card economy like I was talking about earlier, and we can go into Link Karibo if we need it next turn or something like that. Alright, so we are playing against two set cards and a Pot of Duality. Pot of Duality is nice. It does give us a little bit of info, and I saw Renewal of the World, so that does imply that they are playing the Demise deck. Now granted, that could be the Demise deck from the structure deck that they give you, but also I believe they added a couple more cards, so they are just playing full-on Demise. I do like the Demise deck. I do think the Demise OTK is a little better than just pure Demise, but they do Manju here, and Manju will go through, of course. They will grab Demise here, waiting on the opponent to play, and they just end phase, which is odd. Granted, it's not really that odd, but that shows us that they don't have the spells they need to really pop off. So we'll Eternal Soul here. We'll special the Dark Magician from our hand, and then we are able to banish their Manju, I believe. We can banish one card, and I believe we might be worried about their face downs. The face downs are problematic. They did set them first, so they may not be too problematic, just because setting your spell or traps in the main phase 1, I do not enjoy it, and I don't like seeing a lot of players do it, just because if I were to set an MST, it would have just been useless. Granted, it would have been useless in the main phase 2 as well, but it's just a little safer to go through your main plays first, and then set the cards as a precaution in the main phase 2. So we're going to add Secrets of Dark Magic through our Soul Servant here, which will allow us to draw it first turn. Popping a back row, and we do see that it's just a Ritual Buster, so not really a back row that we should be scared of. But then we are able to pop off with our Magician's Soul, sending a Dark Magician to the grave. And then with that, we're able to special summon a Dark Magician. Which will cause our Dark Magical Circle to banish one of their cards. And we could be scared of their first face down, but seeing that it was just the Ritual Buster, we could go for the Manju, but we do decide to go for their other face down, which was the Renewal of the World. Again, not really a crazy card that we needed to worry about. So going into our extra deck, we do go into the Ebon Illusion Magician, only because we're wanting to tutor out the third Dark Magician that we can use. So Ebon Illusion Magician will give us a 2500. It'll put a Dark Magician in the grave and bring the third one out from the deck. So having one come from the deck summons that, and then we're able to use the Eternal Soul to bring the one from our graveyard. And so I'm trying to think of the play here. So the play here is to Eternal Soul from the graveyard, and then attack in general. Do we summon the Magician's Soul? I don't believe we do. I don't think we need to. And we could go into something in our extra deck, but I feel like the best course of action here is to just actually swing through. So we're able to swing through, and then we'll take 25, another 25, a third 25, and that'll leave them with 300 life points, where we are able to use Secrets of Dark Magic to go into our Dark Magicians here in the battle phase. And that does allow us to actually close out the game and attack directly. So that will be another OTK victory for this deck. So currently our record is 3-1. We did suffer our first loss in this video, but it was to Tri-Brigade Gladiator Beast, and I'm not mad about that in the slightest. So that will be it for our second episode. Thank you guys so much for chilling out with me. I do appreciate the views. Like I said, our growth is actually kind of awesome. It is just 50 subscribers, but it does mean so much to me. So thank you guys so much, and if you'd like to, like, comment, and subscribe. I like talking to you guys in the comments, and I do stream. I stream on Twitch. All my links are in the description below, so if you do want to check those out, I would love for you to follow me and things like that, because I want to get a community started with you guys. I love doing these videos for you, and they do make me feel all warm and fuzzy. See you guys in the next video. Bye.